You've done it before. Someone mentions a problem, and before they finish the sentence, you already have three solutions, two warnings, and a personal story that proves you've been through worse. You call it helping. You call it caring. You call it honesty. But there's something underneath that nobody talks about. And it explains why some people genuinely cannot stop giving advice that was never asked for. It's not kindness, it's anxiety wearing a helpful disguise. Here's what's actually happening in the brain of someone who can't stop advising. When another person's life feels uncertain, when they're standing at a crossroads, making a risky choice, living in a way that feels unstable, it activates something in the advice giver's nervous system. Not empathy, discomfort. Their own unresolved fears get triggered. Their own unfinished stories wake up. And the fastest way to make that discomfort stop is to fix the situation in front of them. So they advise, they warn, they correct. Not for you, for themselves. Psychologists call this anxiety displacement. You become the project that helps them avoid their own unfinished work. Then there's projection. Projection sounds complicated. In real life, it's simple. It's when someone looks at your choices and sees their own past mistakes. You start a business, and they remember the dream they never started. You leave a relationship, and they remember the one they stayed in too long. You choose something bold, and something in them, something still unhealed, gets activated. So the advice comes. But it isn't really for you. It's a message they're trying to send to a younger version of themselves. Except it arrives in your life instead of theirs. They call your courage reckless. They call your independence naive. Not because you're wrong, because your freedom touches a wound in them that never fully closed. And then there's the quiet one, the one people rarely admit. Some people give advice because it makes them feel needed. Advice creates a small, silent hierarchy. The one who knows and the one who needs to be told. For someone who never learned to feel valuable simply by existing, being needed becomes the closest thing to feeling loved. When you make a decision without asking them, something in them quietly panics. Not because your choice is wrong, because your independence makes them feel unnecessary. Here's what this does to the person receiving the advice over time. You stop making decisions freely. You start making decisions defensively. You're no longer asking, what is right for me? You're asking, how do I survive the response? That is how your autonomy quietly disappears. Not in one dramatic moment, through 1,000 small opinions that were never invited. The difference between advice and invasion is simple. Advice waits to be asked. Invasion assumes you need it before you've finished your sentence. You don't owe anyone access to your decision-making process, not even the people who love you. And if you recognized yourself in this video, on either side of it, that recognition is already the beginning of something changing.